Go, go, Power Rangers! You mighty morphin Power Rangers! Yeah! I just saw Power Rangers. What did I think about it? Okay, guys, I'm just warning you, spoilers in this video, because I have to go into detail and what I thought about Power Rangers. I'm going to give you everything, the good and the bad, and the craziness that is Power Rangers 2017. How did it match up to the 1995 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? How did it match up to the show? There's just a lot to cover, and I'm going to give you the best in-depth, short analysis of characters to tell you in this. And I also have a special thing that I will tell you right now. It is, you may have saw it on my Instagram, the Power Rangers pack of the show version of the Red Ranger and the new one. So Jason Lee Scott's Power Ranger form. So we got Austin St. John's form here, and the Montgomery guy. Sorry if I pronounce his name, Darce Montgomery. I think that's right. I don't know. Something with a D. Sounds like Drace Montgomery, I guess. But it's his Jason David Scott's, or Jason David Franks. Austin St. John's form versus the new one. So yeah, this is going to be a special review in the way of Power Rangers. I'll probably eventually get all these and review them, but this is not how I planned this video a lot differently until I got Walmart, and my mom said no to buying the Morpher. As of right now, I can't buy the Morpher. She said it'd probably be better for me just to buy this one, and also not Power Rangers, but Star Wars Battle on Naboo set. I'm doing Naboo, and yeah. So this is a special honor in honor of Power Rangers. I'll be reviewing this on my channel after this review, so stay tuned for that. And that is a special announcement. So, what did I think? I'm going to first say you can either be a full-on Power Ranger fan in this movie, going to this movie, and know the origin to some degree about the Power Rangers. You can know how they become Power Rangers, and you can also go into this movie having no idea. You didn't grow up with the show. You weren't born in the era of the show. You were born from anywhere from 2001 to 2017, and you only know beyond the Mighty Morphin. So you probably know anywhere from the Jetix to Nickelodeon, where it is now. Now, Nickelodeon, it had some marathons where they aired past seasons. So like they aired them before probably, but if you remember, in 2008 or 9, or at some point, Disney bought out the franchise. They bought out Power Rangers, and the thing for me is my cousins grew up watching it, so when I came into where I liked it, so I grew up with it. I've always known Power Rangers, and I don't have a problem with me being an 18-year-old watching Power Rangers, enjoying the show. It's just everything for me, and it's what, especially Power Rangers Ninja Storm. Power Rangers Ninja Storm was an amazing season. It's what made me like, one of the reasons why I like Ninjago. It makes me like Ninjago, okay? It kind of makes me like Ninjago. It kind of made me want to like Ninjago. And, yeah, it's just very good seasons. Anywhere from Zeo, the top three, I don't like are Turbo, RPM, and Overdrive. My reasons for that, I'm stating this and then I'll get on the review. You gotta know history for me of the Power Rangers. But, so, Turbo, RPM, and Overdrive. Apparently RPM was the last one that Disney had before Nickelodeon bought them out. And, or before they got, Saban bought it back out. Saban is the company. So, you always know the Saban Power Rangers. That's why. It was bought out by Disney. Disney aired them on the show, or on the channel called Jetix. Jetix got canceled. It became Disney XD. They no longer air Power Rangers on Disney XD. I'm surprised because they've already taken back Pokemon and Beyblade. And so I want them to eventually go back and buy it again. Because when I was little, me and my cousin KJ, who was big time Power Ranger fan before he passed away, and he had all kinds of stuff with it, but that's a whole nother story. I could go on and on about my cousin KJ and his love for Power Rangers. But anyway, I just grew up with liking Power Rangers, and I have no trouble with you as long as you don't cause problems with me liking Power Rangers, make fun of me, you know. But I have no issue with the world knowing I like Power Rangers. Tons of people like Power Rangers. Tons of kids like Power Rangers. Some of you probably do like it. And I suggest, even though the 1995 Power Rangers, even though the 1990 whatever Power Rangers, whenever year Turbo was made, the movie, even though that movie Turbo was bad, you need to go watch the original too, because they're good. And I also suggest, because this movie is very like this episode, the pilot episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which I recently discovered months back, called Day of the Dumpster. Because if you watch the intro, they just randomly teleport, and they're teleporting, and it explains why in the intro that they teleported the way they did. And yeah, it just explains it. And it explains why Zordon chooses them to be the Power Rangers. And yeah, so getting on to the movie itself, the first thing you see is they're back. This is the flashback. This is the first scene. Spoilers. So I'm gonna make clear. Spoilers, okay? I know I probably didn't make it clear enough in my other reviews. Spoiler alerts. So the best way to describe this movie, or to give you when I get to the characters, the best way to tell you is when I get to the characters. But the first thing you see is they're back in the old days when Zordon was not in the wall. Now the best thing, I like the origin. I like where they gone with Zordon. He was the first Red Ranger. Rita was the first green one. And he was laying there on the ground in the Jurassic Age of Earth. And before Angel Grove came along, was built or ever thought of. And so he's laying there and he's trying to save the other Rangers, and he didn't get to save them, so he buries the power coins and tells Alpha 5 that he hopes that they will find the new ones. So it skips the present day, and we see Jason. He's the Red Ranger, and he he goes and he's stealing this cow, and he has like this major accident that makes him mess up his foot or whatever. And Trini, so now this is the best part to give you, so I don't have to tell you. The best way to describe each of these characters is they're all from different aspects of life. So some of them are being bullied. Some of them don't know a parent. Like Jason, he majorly messed up. He's made a big mistake in his life. And not only are the characters diverse, but the actors. You may notice that one of them's not making any fun or anything, but one of them's Asian, one of them's Australian, one of them's African American, British. All of them are from different parts of the world in real life too, and so they all have different problems, and they're all in detention for different things. And the best way, I really liked Billy's character. Everybody was saying about Billy, played by R.J. Cyler. He is great, and he was good. All of them were good. Naomi Scott, Becky G, even Elizabeth Banks, Bryan Cranston, Montgomery, Darce Montgomery, Louis Lynn. All of them were great, and so they all come from these part of life, and we see Jason, Trini, then there's Kimberly, and it goes, and they're all being bullied. So, especially R.J. Cyler's character. And if you're wondering about Bulk and Skull, if you're really knowing about Bulk and Skull, they are the two bullies in the originals. They're not in this, but they do have some bullies. So apparently Kimberly knocked out this guy's tooth or whatever, and there's a whole big story about that. And she's getting bullied. She ends up clipping her hair, like in the trailer. Jason, he's a football player. He messes up because he's in a car wreck. Becky G's character, she is 3 schools in 3 years, and she don't really talk to anybody or anything. Louis Lynn's character, Zach, he has a mother who's dying, and 2 of them don't have father figures. Billy and Zach don't really have father figures. Billy mentions it more than Zach does. And Billy, he kind of has that autistic problem. You get that from it, and from what he says. But he's smart, because the original guy was smart. The original character, David Yost's character, was smart, and like that. And so they find the spaceship, and they come together. They discover they have superpower. They discover after they find the coins that they have superpowers. They have super strength. They end up doing something in the cafeteria that messes up everybody's food, and so yeah. Then they get Zordon. He's trapped in the wall, and he's played by Bryan Cranston, which is excellent. And Bill Hader's Alpha 5. Now, Alpha 5, he was okay as a character, and yeah, they had to train to become Power Rangers, and they had to bond together because the suits, they didn't hold out they didn't have morphers, like wrist morphers or anything. They had to prove themselves. They had to train for a couple of days or so to get themselves ready. and Rita, she was like frozen and stuff, and she wants to build Godar, uh, which it gets to where I have a problem with the movie, and I'll go into the death, but she wants to build Godar, and that's the monster that's made out of gold, and so there's some other problems I would like to address at the end of the movie too. So they're trying to start. He tells them that while he's trapped in the wall, and he trained them a little bit, and they all give up, and they're like, "We can't do this. We're not Power Rangers. What are you talking about? All this stuff, and we're not the chosen warriors that you think we are." And Zordon, he wants to get himself back into human form, but he doesn't do that. He doesn't do that, and I'm sorry about my dog. And he doesn't do that. Instead, at one point, they're all captured when they confront Rita the first time. They're all captured, and Billy tries to distract Rita by making her go to Krispy Kreme, which is the whole thing is around the Zeo crystals. Now, the Zeo crystals are the crystals that the UNCM4. Now, I want to explain about the Zeo Rangers. The Zeo Rangers is they have these shapes on their head, like triangles. So it'd be 3 sides. Whatever the corner of the shape is, how many corners are like. So if it's 3, it would be a triangle. If it's 4, I don't know. Like, I'd have to look at all of them. But yeah, the whole thing is around Zeo crystals, trying to protect the Zeo crystals. So that automatically shouts that there's going to be another one, which is a good thing. And yeah, so she eventually gets Godar, and they eventually discover they can morph and all this stuff, but they give up several times, and Billy's able to morph once. He almost dies. Spoiler. Oh yeah, spoiler. Let me rewind. He almost dies because she's trying to get him to give the secret of the Zeo crystals, and he refuses to do it. And even though they do know where they are, and so he tells them Crystal Cream Donuts, and she throws him in the water anyway, and he almost dies. That gets to the part, another spoiler, where Zordon wants to get him out, but Jason gets mad and discovers he's wanting to get out, only using them to get out. But he sacrifices his chance to get out to save Billy, so he does die in a way, but he comes back, which is a good thing. And because Billy is a cool character, and he stays around for a very long time. And yeah, then the last part. So they're on the way to Angel Grove. Rita's going on full force, and she's trying to look for Zeo crystals, wrecking everything, and they get the Zords. Also, there's a very funny part with nuns in it, and that's when Zach gets the the Mastodon Zord and runs away with it, and he almost runs into some nuns, and yeah, it's pretty funny. And Krispy Kreme donuts are also in there, which was pretty funny, like I said. And so here's some pure nostalgia for you people. And they played the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers song. Like, they don't go remix, they don't go dub or whatever. I know I sound like Andre the Black Nerd, but they don't do any of that stuff. They don't remix or anything. They go full force, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, go Power Rangers for a little bit as they're running the thing. Which brings me to this. The design of the Zords were good individually. And I'm going to wrap up the review by saying she ends up being thrown into space which I bet means that she lands up on the moon and creates the little palace thing where she can throw her staff down. And there's also the thing where she says in the show, "Make my monster grow," and it's morphin' time. And yeah, and Bill and Alpha says, "Aye, aye, 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 aye," and yeah, there's just a lot of stuff in it. So after and Jason has to save his father, who isn't involved in the car wreck. And there's three rules: can't provoke a fight, never reveal your identity, and one other thing. And he doesn't do that, but he does wonder who that is. Most importantly, this movie is great. It is good. Okay? It is good. It is awesome. It does for the most part what I want it to be. And so yeah. On the scale to 1 of 10, I would give it a close 9. I would give it an 8.5, anywhere from an 8.5 to a 9. 8.5 to a 10, I guess. But it mainly would be an 8.5 because I feel like Godard, he was a comic relief character, and he would grow big eventually and fight the Power Rangers every little bit. But I feel like that also the Zords were good apart. You could tell to a degree what they were. And the one that I really was worried about was the pterodactyl, I guess. I don't know. I really didn't pay much attention. I just noted that they were all different than the ones in the show. And what really got me was the Megazord. It looked different than what I thought it would have been. And, yeah. It was just not what I expected. It got what I wanted. It ended, I guess it was better than I thought. The Megazord was better than I thought overall. When you come and think about it, it's better than the CGI that they had in the 1995 one. And it's better than the CGI in the Turbo one. And when it comes on down to it, this Power Ranger movie, because it's a more modernized version, is better. It's better for fans and people who don't know. So if you're a critic, don't go so hard on this movie, because we need another one. It is a good movie, okay? It is a good movie. And at the end, there is 2 cameos with some two very important people. Jason David Frank and Amy Jo Johnson. And even though they're not in the movie to fight or anything, I thought they were going to be like in the first part of it, but they're citizens. And that's okay. I was okay with it. And, yeah. But there is a after credit scene where, yeah, spoiler. Sorry for saying spoiler after I was going to review it, or say it, but spoiler. And, so, they, do have an after credit scene, and it's the principal. He yells Tommy, and, the reason Billy is in the detention is he blew up his lunchbox. It is explained as they go in the, there's a little campfire scene where they explain each of their backgrounds, and I'm glad that they did that. I'm glad that they explain everything in the backgrounds, and I'm glad they do all that. It's important to do that. Now, here's what I thought would happen. Batman vs. Superman had that structure where it spent most of the time building up the characters. Now, we know that movie was a total flop, in my opinion. It was a total flop that I hyped up. I hyped up this movie because I knew about it. I knew it could be good because it's a more modernized with more new technology than we had in 1995 when I wasn't even around. And, yeah. So, yeah, it's better for the audience. And, yes, I have to say it is a little bit cursing. I had to say that. Yeah. Does have a few curse words. I knew it would happen, but look at society today. They allow stuff that not normally would be allowed. But, yeah. I feel like the critics should give Power Rangers the credit it deserves. It is good. The suits, they're better than I thought. Looking at it, they're better than the spandex. This is spandex right here. Right here, or right there, spandex. This armor comes from inside of them. I'll explain that more in the review, but it does come from inside them. And, yeah. I would score this movie, I'm probably going to score it a 9. It's as close as it's going to get to a 10. 9.5 would have to eliminate one or two other things. I would probably take the not morphing all the time, like more than once. They took long enough to morph. I guess that's an issue, but overall their morphing sequences were better, and I like the overall better. Maybe it is better than what they had in the show, because each of them would yell their name, and when you get to Jason, he would go, Tyrannosaurus! And they all go, Mastodon, Pterodactyl, Triceratops, Saber-tooth Tiger, Tyrannosaurus. Maybe it's not bad. Maybe it's best they not do that in the movie. Maybe that was best that they didn't do that. I don't know, but overall, this movie was great. I think that anybody, even if you're not a real big fan of the Power Rangers, go see this movie, because if you go watch the originals, you're gonna probably have the same feeling as me, and say that the CGI and all that stuff was out bad. And yes, it was. The Turbo movie was an absolute disaster. If you watch the first ones, the first two had Star Wars rip-off kind of things going on with the crawls and everything. But and I'm so glad that they did not kill Zordon. I'm so glad that they did not kill Zordon. Oh my goodness. But yeah. That is Power Rangers 2017. That's how I feel about it. What did you think about it? And my screen keeps going black. And yeah. Yeah. What did you think about it? I want to hear your thoughts. Tell me the good, the bad, and the crazy. And I can't wait for the sequel. I honestly can't wait for the sequel. Please, Lionsgate, don't let us wait 2 or 3 more years. Don't let us wait 20 more years. You may not have to do it like directly after this, but at least do it next year. Even if it has to come out in 2019. Please just let us have a good Zeo Crystal Zeo movie. And I want to make a video on what seasons I think should be next. I'll give you a few right now. They should make Ninja Storm. They should at least have Time Force, SPD, maybe Jungle Fury. Don't do Turbo, please. I could see how they could do a better version of Turbo, but I'm glad they skipped Turbo and then go straight Turbo. That was the mistake that they did in Turbo. They should have I hope they go in order. So if they do a Turbo movie, it would have to come after Zeo. So it would be Zeo, Turbo, probably in space, Lost Galaxy. Yeah, Lost Galaxy in space, you know, in order of the seasons. And that would be good. But, yeah, I'm going to get off here because this video is going to be 30 minutes long. Good grief. But, yeah. I'm sorry. Coughing. I've had to cough several times in the last few days. But, yeah. Please comment, like, subscribe, go watch the movie. What did you think about it? And check the subscription bell to never miss a upload. And yeah, I will see you next time. And let the power protect you all. Bye.